Okay, so you guys are in the town of Castell, right? From your guys' travel into the town, you guys can uh, figure out that it is a town that is built on a major road. So the town was built on both sides of the road. If you look on the map, a little bit to the west is Merida, which is a port town, and Kimor Stronghold, which is its primary defense on the border. And then to the east, you have Pontine, which is the capital. So Castell is kind of a waypoint between these major towns and cities. So it makes its money primarily off of visitors. So the inn is is fairly large, has a lot of rooms. Let's see. So you guys, okay. So you guys are in the Emerald Shield, which is the inn, which hosts a rather large tavern as well. So, so you guys are sitting around a long table, about 30 feet long. You guys can see various townspeople, villagers, travelers. They're all partaking in food and drink. You have a minstrel on a stage playing some light lute music. But you guys are kind of in the back corner of this inn. And you guys are all sitting around. And I would like you guys to introduce yourself. We're going to start with Talion.
All right. I'm a pretty young, for a half-elf at least, since half-elves tend to live pretty long. Fairly young, a little into the more midlife area, about 40s.
Okay.
I'm average height, 5'10", so I stack up to majority of people decently.
It's actually pretty good for a half-elf.
I'm generally pretty generic looking as a half-elf. Other than the robes are kind of a mixture of a red and blue. Blue hair, or not blue hair, blue eyes, blonde hair.
Okay.
And I'm carrying around a cutlass.
Okay.
At my side.
All right. Any prominent features? Tattoos, scars, anything like that?
Looks pretty generic.
Okay, cool. So, Victor, you're up next.
Okay, I am a human. I am slightly average size at 6 feet.
Okay.
I have a loose ponytail, dark brown hair, brown eyes, bit of a stubble, like 5 o'clock shadow. Have average looks.
Okay.
Nose of the bridge is a bit flat. And I have a little scar just underneath my left eye.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay, I have a suit, and over that suit I have a long coat with a rapier at my side and a shield.
Okay.
And that's it.
Cool. Felwyn, you're up next. Felwyn?
I am a relatively young gnome, young adult. Small for a gnome, I'm 3 foot. I have very pale skin, like very pale. Black hair and green eyes. I have a bit of stubble, but not too much. And yeah, I have a gun on my back.
You said a gun?
Thunder cannon.
Okay, so that's actually pretty unique. So anybody who is not familiar with Felwyn will be a little bit curious as to it. But okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, and Cezira, you're up next.
Okay, so I am a female half-elf. I'm very young for, to be out on my own, having just left in the early 20s, standing at 5'6". If you can tell that from me sitting down at a table, with like very pale white hair.
Okay. Anything unique about your dress?
Sorry, your command sent off my Alexa. What did you say?
I'm sorry. Is there anything unique about your outfit, your dress? Anything you want to describe about that?
Not really. I'm wearing studded leather armor, so obviously an adventurer.
Okay. And that should be our 4 characters. So you guys are sitting around the table, conversing, getting to know each other, right? So, is there anything you guys, in particular, your characters are interested in doing? Want to reveal? Your fate is in your hands, I would say.
You said there was a person playing light music.
Yes.
I'll cast a prestidigitation to create some faint notes to go with the playing to kind of create a melody,
Okay.
just to create some better entertainment.
Increases the atmosphere. Okay. So you can see it surprises him a little bit at first, but everybody else in the inn seems to kind of that they like it. They're getting into it. They're
Sure.
okay. All right. So you guys are kind of hunched over in the corner by yourselves, kind of out of the way of everybody else. So you guys want to? Is there anything your characters would want to reveal about themselves? You guys know that you guys are adventurers. So,
yeah.
Or you guys can eat in silence, whatever you guys want to do. So.
I'd probably just kick back and order some food.
Okay.
Pretty unbothered by the situation.
Okay.
My
So,
character's drinking ale, sort of chilling.
All right.
I'm
Vic-
smoking in a pipe and drinking something.
Okay. So you guys are just kind of sitting there. You guys just kind of look back and forth between each other, give each other like that acknowledging nod,
Can
maybe
I
a
say
little,
something?
maybe a little grunt. So,
Yeah, then I'll be the forward one and ask everybody what their their favorite war story is from previous adventures.
Favorite war story? This one time, it was a different group trying to get rid of a necromancer. Had a little gnome in our party. A bit like you, but he was a deep gnome. Had some sort of device that sprouted some sort of yellowish liquid. It was very sticky. We went to that cave, try and retrieve the necromancer. We went deep in, the bastard teleported behind us and started running away. However, the little gnome just shot this little thing he had on the necromancer, filled him up. Guy tripped, fell face first into that glue he had, and suffocated to death. Easiest contract we had.
okay.
That's my story.
I'll stay silent and just instead pull out an accordion and play in tune with my with the minstrel and the prestidigitation.
Okay. So that would be a performance check to see how well you play.
It's the
So
one on the left. It always is a second roll in case of advantage or disadvantage.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Say that again.
The one on the left is 13. It always rolls twice in case advantage or disadvantage.
Okay. So, sorry, still a little new to roll 20. So the 13 is basically what it rolled, and then
Yep.
the 4 is what is the 4?
The 4 is there if it was advantage or disadvantage.
Okay, I gotcha.
It auto
Okay.
rolls twice.
So 13. Okay, so you start to play your accordion. It's been a little while since you've played it. So you're a little off tune at first, but it doesn't take you very long to start playing along, and the notes start to meld together. and the music sounds even better now. So, okay. So you guys notice that your new friend over here is just pulled out an accordion and just started. He's not really speaking a whole lot to you guys. He's just improving the mood. All right. Does anybody else wish to say anything? No?
Since we're like
I ask what everyone's doing here.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I ask what everyone's doing right now, like at this tavern, why they are here.
Okay.
Say it in character.
I'm between towns looking for some books to go read up on some spells, see if I can pick up any skills.
I'm just looking for work.
In a super bubbly tone that, almost bouncing off of my seat, my character responds that she's looking for things too, just looking for new magical items, and, maybe we can look together.
Okay. Let's see. Felon, does your character wish to reveal anything to pitch in?
Well, both me and
Say zero?
Zera are both on an adventure together, so we're looking for the same thing.
Okay. All right, I would like everybody to make a perception check.
Is it perception?
Yep.
24.
18.
What is your perception modifier, Phil? Phil, what's your perception modifier?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's 12.
So your perception modifier is a 2?
Okay. So we have a
My perception would be +3.
+3. Okay, so we have a 24, an 18, a 12, and an 8. Okay. So Victor and Talion, you guys catch it. However, Felwyn and Caesira, the music maybe has your attention a little too much. You don't catch it right away. The front door to the inn is kicked in, and a man in dark purple robes, an old, gnarled-looking man, with a crazed look in his eyes, steps forward, and with an outreached hand, he is holding a dark, twisted wand. And all you hear from him is, "Razzle, razzle!" And a bright light, bursts forward, and okay. Talion, what is your AC?
Currently?
Yes.
14.
14? Okay, so this blast whizzes right past your head and strikes some barrels sitting right in the corner of the inn. And as his spell misses, he runs off into the night. However, everybody roll perception again.
Do I have the ability to do something as he turns away to run?
You know what? Passive. We'll do passive perception. So, does anybody have a passive perception above 11?
I do. 12.
I do as well.
15.
Mine's 12 as well.
Okay, cool. So you guys all hear it. So, from the area of the barrels, you begin to hear a squeaking sound. And it sounds like it's getting deeper and louder. And as
I
you
pull out my sword.
Okay, so as you turn to investigate this noise,
Is the guy still there?
No, he
Okay, he's already darted off.
kicked it in, screamed, shot his wand at you, and then ran out.
Booked it.
So, from the barrels, you see a couple of rats, and you see them squirming a little bit in pain, as if they're in pain. And in the next moment, they begin to enlarge till they're about the size of dogs now. So,
Okay. As I see them growing, I'm going to cast Crimson Right on my sword, on my rapier.
okay. I'm going to ask that you guys leave the chat box for dice rolls.
Okay, that was just to read what it is.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay, yeah. Just because it shows up in the stream chat.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
okay. So, you said you're going to activate it?
Yep.
Yes, as I pull my rapier out, I just put my thumb over the edge of the blade and I put my blood over it and it starts like shooting having little lightning bolts out
Starts
of it.
sparking a little bit.
Yeah, it starts sparkling.
Okay. I'm going to ask that everybody rolls initiative.
Ouch.
What is your dex modifier, Caesura?
Sorry, it's +3.
Okay, so her is 14. And now we're waiting. Yeah, there you go.
29, 11, and 14.
What, 29? No, 20.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
20.
29, 14, and 11.
Okay,
So,
I thought you said 29.
Oh, I meant to put a break in.
there
Yeah.
is 14. Let's see. So, 9 for Talion. Okay. So, you guys added your dex modifiers already, Caesar and Felwyn? That's the +3. Okay, so 11. Okay. So both of you got 11?
Caesura
One
got
of them
14.
had 14.
14. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead. All right. So one of the rats is going to leap. Let's see, at Victor. That is, let's see, a 13.
Misses.
Misses? All right. Let's see, so 18, followed by, okay, so 3. So Talion, a rat jumps to attack you, and he misses. All right. So next up is Victor and Caesira. Who has the highest dex modifier?
What? Why Caesura? She rolled a 14.
Yes. Yours
And I
shows
rolled
a
a 20.
Let me see. Oh, I see now. Okay. My bad. For some reason I saw 14.
Yes, I did. I wrote for her. I did her modifier.
Okay. All right. So Victor, I'll let you go.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to hurt it with my quarterstaff.
I'm sorry. It's Victor's turn.
Victor.
Yeah, I
Victor
think
than you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'll
I rolled
fix
a 20.
I'll fix it next time.
Okay, I'm gonna
I'm still new to roll 20. Sorry, guys.
Yep, all good.
attack the guy that just the rat that just tried to attack me with my crimson rapier.
Okay.
Ugh, I rolled an 8. No.
8. So it leaps over your cutlass. Or your rapier, sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, so Caesar is up.
Yep, I'm going to try and hit it with my quarterstaff.
Alright. So a 19. That is a hit.
I'm glad.
Okay. So HP. All right, so go ahead and roll for damage. 6
think it's-
points. Okay. Which one were you attacking?
The one on the left.
Wait, are you hitting it with 2 hands or 1 hand? Are you two-handing the staff or are you just holding it in 1 hand?
I'm assuming 1 hand, right, for D6? Did we lose them?
Sorry, our internet keeps cutting out, so it's hard for me to hear you.
That's okay. You are using 2 hands to swing, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Then you have to roll a d8. If you use 2 hands, you roll a d8. If you use 1 hand, you roll a d6.
Ah, thanks, Ransom. I'm gonna get a 2 now, I hope you know.
You're gonna get a 1. 1 damage incoming.
Yeah. You don't have any strength?
Okay.
7. What you would have gotten anyway.
7 points. Okay. So 2 of the rats have attempted to attack. And 2 of them have not yet. So, do you have a preference which one you hit? They're all within range.
Just whichever one is closest to me.
Okay. So, all right. So you twirl your quarterstaff around and you bring it down, smashing one of the rats in the skull. With a thickening thud and a splash of blood, a rat lies dead at your feet. All right. Up next is Felwyn.
I pull up my light crossbow from my side and attempt to shoot the closest one to me.
Okay.
Sorry, I used the wrong character.
It's okay. Let's see. All right, 17. That's a hit. Even without your dexterity modifier. Yes, that's a hit. So which one are you shooting at?
Just the closest one towards me.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for damage. All right, so
Wait, it's not just 1 damage. It's not just 1 damage. He has to add his modifier as well.
His strength.
No, he's using a crossbow, so it's dexterity.
Okay.
so what's your dex
Thought it was
modifier?
just another melee because I was looking on
Oh, I
spells.
got excellent. Right, it's +3.
+3?
So 4 damage.
So 4 damage. All right.
Don't you have your gun yet?
I got told you can't use the gun from below a certain range.
Okay.
What? No. There isn't anything like that.
Pardon?
There isn't any rule that you can't use it if it's below a certain range.
I got told by a different DM I couldn't, but next time. Then.
Okay. So your crossbow bolt grazes one of the rats, but it is still standing. And then the rat that you just shot will try to turn and attack you, Felwyn. That is a 14. Or sorry, 12. 12.
It does not hit.
Does not hit. So it tries to leap at you, and you hit it with the butt of your crossbow, knocking it back down to the ground. All right, so we're going to fix initiative. So Victor, you're going to go again. You're at the top.
I was next after Felwyn.
Yeah, the initiative got a little messed up because I didn't see the 20.
No.
You did it. You ended up doing it right. It's just initially you had it backwards or flipped on it.
All right.
So I would be next.
Yep.
And then for my action, I'll pull out my Wand of Magic Missile.
Okay.
I will use 1 charge, which will do 3 darts.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick it at there's one that's already injured,
Yes.
and there are 2 others.
Yes.
I'll fire it at. I'll take 2 charges, and I'll fire. So that's 4 darts. I'll fire 2 darts at each of the uninjured ones,
Okay,
and it's an auto hit. I just roll damage.
that's
right?
correct. It is magic
So
missile.
these two are the ones that are going toward.
These are the ones
One-
that attacked initially.
So they both each take 6.
So 6 damage. Okay. So you see your missiles connect, and the rats become bloodied, but they are still standing. So
Okay. Then for my movement, I'll just move behind Victor.
okay,
Use him as a human shield. Literally human.
okay. So you had a 9, right? Yep. Okay. So back to the top. That's right. Okay. So now we're back at the top of initiative. So we're gonna let Victor go because he had the 20.
Attacking again, the rider tried to bite me.
Okay.
Natural 20.
All right.
It's-
That's 17 damage.
So for criticals, you take your first dice roll at max plus an extra dice roll on top. So
My first dice roll at max. That's how you do it?
yes.
If it rolled a d6, you would get a 6 and then an extra d6.
Yes.
Okay. We'll keep the lightning damage, which is a 5, and my normal piercing damage will be 8 plus 5, 13, plus my modifier of 4, 17 plus 5. 22.
Gets hit
Okay.
hard.
All right.
22 damage.
22 points of damage. All right, that was that one. So you just cleave this rat. It is dead. All right. So it is. All right. So, Talion, a rat attempts to bite you. Gets an 11.
Misses.
All right. Wow, you guys are getting pretty lucky. All right.
Even if you rolled above my AC, I would have just used a reaction to stop it.
All right, Zira, you're up next.
Okay, I will try and hit it again with a two-handed, with my quarterstaff holding it two-handed.
Okay. All right, 12.
One second. Sazira, what is your strength modifier?
1.
Is it 1?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
it's 1. Sorry, I missed it out of the proficiency. I should have put +3, but it's still only a 13.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's a hit. So roll for damage. All right, 4 points. All right. So again, you bring your quarterstaff down and you crush a second rat's head. And it lies dead at your feet.
Can I speak as a free action?
Yes.
My character's going to start getting like really excited and jumping up and down like, yeah, I did it.
Okay, so thoroughly excited. She's cleaning out the vermin. All right, Felwyn, you are up next.
I will attempt to shoot one of the injured rats with my crossbow again.
So there's one rat left.
We've kind of been exterminating these things every round.
You can
We've
tell
got
that he
decent
is
enough rolls.
obviously pretty bloodied. So he's
I think
pretty.
he has 1 HP after my dart.
Okay.
All right. So 23, that's a hit. So go ahead and roll
Oh yeah,
for
this thing's
damage.
gonna explode.
So
So my crossbow is plus dex, isn't it?
okay, so that's a nat 20, right? Nat 20
Yep.
plus your 3. So whatever your crossbow damage is, you will take. So go ahead and roll for damage, and then So what is that? 6.
6 plus 8, I'm assuming you're making it.
Let's see.
So 14.
Hold on. So, what is that from a D6 for damage for crossbow? What is
D8. It
D8?
says
okay?
no. You don't have to roll the D6.
Oh, I see now. Okay, so it's a D8. So that's 8 plus 6. That's 14. So, yep. You shoot it right in the forehead. And all the rats lie dead at your feet. So, so we are now out of initiative. Let me go ahead. So,
Immediately after combat, does anyone have blood on them from the rats?
no, I mean, a little bit it might have splattered.
Prestidigitation, everyone who has any blood on them?
When Caesira splatted the rats, they might have
Yeah,
splattered a little
splashed
bit.
I'll just say any blood I see, I'll use prestidigitation to clean it.
Okay. So each of you gets 25 experience from that.
25 experience.
Yes. It's 100 total, divided by 4. Okay. So in your guys' scuffle with the rats, there's a little bit of damage to some of the barrels. Barrels had some flour, some food. Perhaps from you guys standing up from the table, you guys might have knocked over some stuff. So there's a small bit of damage, but you guys did pretty good in clearing the rats before any real damage was done. So you see a human male with he's tall. He's about 6 feet 2 inches tall. He's got thick blonde hair, hazel eyes. You can tell that he's human. You recognize him as the innkeeper. He's the one that took you guys in, gave you guys your room keys. And he runs up to see what the noise was, and upon seeing the rats, and then looking up at you guys, seeing you with your weapons drawn, you can see a sigh of relief kind of wash over his face. And he begins thanking you. He begins thanking you profusely. He grabs your hand, begins shaking it quite violently.
Whose hand?
We'll say yours, Victor.
All right, calm down.
He's.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's so. Upon seeing the rats, you can tell that he looks a little distressed. And he looks at you and he tells you, this isn't the first time that this has happened.
Random old guy running into your bar, into your tavern, transforming rats into giant rats.
Yes, it's actually been the same man. This is probably the 3rd time this week we've seen him. He seems to be slipping past the guards. He's I don't know. He's a little off his rocker. He comes in, he yells something random every time, and he always seems to know where these rats are. And they become large, and they begin biting our patrons and eating our food. And their bites, something is wrong about them. The villagers seem to have a hard time overcoming them. They begin developing fevers and other issues, and I'm just glad that you were able to kill them before they were able to spread any more of these problems. We're gonna have to dispose of these bodies as quickly as possible so that these diseases can't spread. So, but again, thank you. please, I'll pay for your breakfast tomorrow morning. It's on me. Free food and drinks.
While he's talking, I've already sat back down. I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation 3 times to create like a musical band. Pretty sure I can do that. It says I can have 3 non-instantaneous effects at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also gonna pull my accordion out and play with it.
Okay. Caesira, you are of the alchemist subclass, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay. I would like you to do a medicine check on the rats.
Give me 1 second.
Can I do one as well because I hunt beasts?
Yeah. Do you have?
I don't have proficiency in medicine. I only have high wisdom.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can go ahead and make a check if you want.
20.
Okay. So, you guys kind of squat down, to help move the bodies, and you guys can kind of see this nasty buildup around their fangs and their saliva.
As soon as they get their hands off of, like, assuming they're poking and prodding the bloody rats, Prestidigitation to clean them up. I'm going to be spamming this because I have reason.
Okay, so with your guys' rolls, sorry, let me go ahead and find this. You guys easily recognize that these rats are carrying sewer plague. So you guys know that this is an illness spread from creatures that occupy sewers, refuse heaps, swamps, that sort of thing. And you know that when a creature becomes infected with sewer plague, they begin becoming fatigued and tired, and they just become exhausted until either it kills them or they're able to shake it off. So it's a pretty serious disease, but you guys managed to kill them before it was spread. So again, he cannot thank you enough. And he tells you that many townspeople and visitors have been bitten in the past and have succumbed to whatever illness has befallen them. So, and again, as he's moving the bodies, you can just kind of hear him muttering that this event just keeps happening. Is anybody proficient in Arcana or Religion?
I am in
I'm
Arcana.
proficient in Arcana as well.
Okay.
Same.
I would like you guys to roll.
Also,
Arcana.
are the bodies dragged off at this point? Is just the stains of their blood left?
So as the bodies are dragged, yeah, there's like a little bit of blood that kind of drags behind them. They are the size of small dogs.
You already know what I'm doing.
You're gonna clean it up?
Clean it.
Okay, so yeah. So the bodies are disposed of. He takes it out back and starts a small fire and burns the bodies outside of the inn. Kind of out of the way. So, Arcana.
Also, just gonna go and chill whatever drink I'm holding or drinking while I'm playing my accordion.
14. Okay. So, Caesira. Everybody else didn't really catch it. You barely caught it. So, you noticed that the old gnarled man that came in and cast the spell on these rats, if you guys will look at roll 20, go ahead and put that up there. So, Caesira, this is what you saw on the front of his robes. I don't know if it's popped up yet for you guys.
Yeah, we can see it. The triangle.
Yes. So, that is the symbol that was on the front of his robes. Say Zira, you so you recognize it by design, but you don't recall what it's from. But I'm sure if you nobody else saw it but you. But I'm sure if there was a way you were to describe it to them, maybe draw it, they'd be able to make a check for it.
Can I find out if anybody has any, anything I can draw on to show them what the symbolizer on the front of the symbol
I'll
is?
ask her to explain it to me because I'll just draw it with prestidigitation. This spell's amazing.
Yeah,
I
you
am
can.
starting to like this spell. Sure, it was like an upside down triangle that was purple.
Well, everything she explains to me as she says, draw it in the ground with prestidigitation.
Okay. So as
The
she
spell's busted. It drops one of the instruments, by the way. One of the instruments stops playing.
Okay. So she explains it to you, and you draw it on the ground. Anybody can make a religion check on that then. Anybody that wants to.
Ooh, a nat 1. Starting out strong. Oh, a nat 20. I'm too busy drawing it to
I'm not
recognize it.
proficient in it. I just okay.
Yeah. So you guys do know that 5th edition no longer does critical fails and critical successes on checks. It only does that in combat. So even a natural 1 doesn't mean a failure. So
It's
you
more
got
of just
5.
a terrible roll.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So, Victor, in your travels, you've seen this before. You recognize it as the symbol for the goddess Talona, who is the goddess of disease and poison.
How do you spell that?
T-A-L.
Write it in the Discord chat. Write it in Discord chat. It's easier that way.
Okay. Yep.
I'm just taking notes on a notepad just so I have it.
Okay. So, yes. So you know that it is a symbol of Talona, the goddess of disease and poison. You
Okay.
know that Talona is of evil descent. Its worshippers.
That's pretty obvious.
Yes, its worshippers are. They like to develop poisons and the like, and they want nothing but to spread, disease and pestilence, and cause chaos. So yes, you recognize it.
I
Okay,
assume
tell
this
it.
has been explained to us? Yeah. I assume he
I would
explained
like to
it to us?
explain it in character.
Alright,
Okay.
cool.
That,
Um,
as far as I can tell, is a symbol of Talona, goddess of plagues and sickness. I guess after what that man displayed before us, it's pretty obvious that he is a worshipper.
Okay. All right.
While he is explaining that, I'm gonna halfway through him talking and basically him just saying that who it is. I'm gonna walk off to the side and just start talking to people. I'm gonna ask them if they notice any defining details about the man so that we can track him down. Assuming there are other people in the tavern,
Yes.
because you said the taverns are pretty large.
Yes. So, here I will roll. Let's see. Let's roll for luck.
The barkeep. Basically anyone who would have seen him bust through the door.
Okay. So, the innkeeper, whose name is Dane, he introduces himself to you once he calms down a little bit, and maybe one or two of the patrons have seen this man before, but he's very shriveled and skinny. He's almost skin and bones. He's pale, scraggly looking beard that's just been matted and nasty. One of his eyes is almost completely gray, and he just, every time he shows up, he seems more and more insane, almost as if perhaps his mind is being eaten away, and every time he shows up, he's carrying out perhaps an order of some sort. So he just wears simple dark purple robes with the symbol on his chest, a deep hood, and he's barefoot. So, but besides that, there's not really any. They don't recognize him outside of being this almost like a cultist, I guess, is his demeanor. But they've never, like, he's not someone that's passed through the town before. They don't know who he is exactly.
While we're talking, I'm going to order a round of ale for the party.
Okay, so Dane
One for all four of us?
Yes. So Dane is going to. He tells you that it's on the house for helping him.
Sure.
He also he slides you the drinks, and he says, "I'm sorry I can't give you anything else. I mean, I'm a bit of a lonely innkeeper. I don't have much. I don't have money to give you. I can give you free room and board, some free drinks."
Do you happen to know, would there be a reward if we were to bring this cultist to justice? Either by you or by the authorities of the city?
So he seems interested that you're
Is there a bounty on for him?
They don't exactly have a bounty yet. However, Dane tells you that if you were to speak to the mayor, the mayor may be willing to give you a substantial reward for rooting out this man, and possibly if there is a cult, rooting them out as well. So he tells you
on the way back to the table, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation 3 times on 3 of the drinks to make their flavor better. So that's something I can do. This spell is busted. It can do everything.
All right. So Dane tells you that the mayor's name is Mose. He says he's easily recognizable as he is short and squat with a very round face and cropped blonde hair. And he dresses in finer clothing. However, looking at how late it is in the night, he says that more than likely Mose is already turned in for the evening. But Dane also tells you that Mose typically spends his mornings tending to the garden at the mayor's house. So,
Right.
Can I ask directions to the mayor's house?
okay. He says it's pretty easy. You just walk out of the inn. You just go down the road a little bit, and it is the largest house, surrounded by a very impressive garden. You guys actually saw it on the way in, so you guys know where it is.
Right then.
I'm going to make it back to the table, give those two of the flavor enhanced drinks, and leave the third flavor enhanced drink for Victor.
Okay.
I thank you.
As far as they know, it's just normal, but it is totally flavor enhanced.
So,
Seems like there's a job at hand. The rest of you be alright with joining up arms to try and complete this little quest?
I mean, this definitely piques my interest. I've had experience hunting people in urban settings before, so I mean, this should be pretty easy for us.
I've got a good tracker myself. How about the rest of you guys?
We're keen to help.
okay.
You too, say Zira.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to include everyone.
All right. So it is agreed that you guys are going to work together.
I would like, if I could, to step outside and see if I can see the tracks of the nut job.
Okay.
said that he was barefoot.
Assuming that I can see him walk outside. Assuming what he's doing, I'll walk out there with him and I'll provide some light since you said it was getting dark with the dancing lights.
Yes, it's already the moon is already up and it's very dark. There's a couple of torches lining the road, but it's still pretty dark outside.
Then I'll step out there and cast dancing light and kind of spread the 4 lights out so it lights up the whole entranceway.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and
Can I do a survival check for this?
yes.
For tracking?
Hey, can I do an investigation to see if there's any other defining factors I could find? Maybe anything he dropped, maybe anything maybe not necessarily his footsteps, but anything he's dropped, anything he would have left as a marking.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Can I also roll investigation?
Yes. So you guys all kind of
Scurry outside and start looking around.
unanimously decide that it is best to find out which way he went before any tracks or clues have been taken by the night. So, yes. So, Talion. Okay. 19. Okay.
And I'm 25.
Okay.
We know the guy's blood type. Let's go.
Okay. So it takes you guys a little while. You have to follow the trail a little bit. However, near where the town kind of stops, leading back out onto the road, leading back west, at kind of off to the side of the road, you see a cloth bundle of sorts. They look kind of raggedy, sitting on the side of the road.
I'll move the closest dancing light over to it.
Mm-hmm.
And light it up so we can see it a little bit better.
Okay. You can see that it's this dingy, dark, yellowish rags. They're kind of folded and bundled up a little bit, kind of haphazardly laying on the side of the road. But from initial looks, you can't really tell what it is.
I'll step over there and pick it up.
Okay, so you pick it up, and you discover that it is a pair of discarded trousers, underwear.
And I will cast Prestidigitation on them.
They still smell bad. If they smell bad, they still smell bad. You don't get rid of the smell. They're just not dirty.
I literally just get rid of I just clean them.
Yep. So
just get rid of disease off them in my hand.
Yep. All right. So you clear it off. You can obviously tell that only somebody just
crazy.
Ripe and crazy would wear something, and perhaps in this old man's escape, they kind of just fell off. Go ahead and make another nature check, Victor, or survival.
And I also assume I would have walked them back to the group and moved my dancing light back to its original position.
Nope.
I'm going to give you advantage on that. So go ahead and roll again. Okay, see, that's much better.
Slightly better.
Okay, so from what you can tell is he was running and his boxers began to slide down and he tripped, leaving a deep gash in the side of the road.
Is there a imprint of where he fell? He left a body mark in the ground.
Yeah, you can obviously see some handprints and a little bit of a face print where it had rained maybe a day or two ago, so the ground is very soft and very muddy. So, and leading from that, you can see footprints as he recovered and began running back out.
I'm gonna note the direction if you know what I remember the general direction he's running here.
Yeah, so you can see that he seems to be making a beeline. He doesn't seem to have the mental stability to really be clever about anything, but he's
Yeah.
making a beeline almost directly southwest from your location, from Castal.
Okay, I'm just gonna mark that down so I have that. Would I be able to tell his height based off the imprint in the ground?
Yeah, okay. So you can see the face print, and you can also see kind of where his feet dug in as well. So you can make kind of a general assumption about his height. He's about 5'5" tall.
5.5 feet, you said?
Yeah, whether that's his true height or perhaps he's kind of bent over and craned
Hunched over, yeah.
a little bit. But yeah, he's roughly 5'6".
And we do know that he's human from all the eyewitnesses.
Yes.
Or at least he has the illusion thereof of human.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna report that to the group and kind of tell them that we know he's roughly a 5'7" or so tall human.
Okay.
Well, we already know he was a human. We have to know his height now as well.
Yeah. Now we might have a little easier time hunting him down.
Woo, let's go get him.
Well,
Okay.
not now. It's night.
Yeah. At this
I
point,
don't
it's
think it's a good
nighttime. We
idea.
need to take our time to rest, and maybe we can catch him when he runs in the morning.
Okay.
Exactly.
So.
And we'll also discuss with the mayor about a possible reward for comprehending him.
Yeah, well, we'll need to do that in the morning as well.
Okay. So yeah, it is very late. You don't think that pretty much only people that are up drinking would still be awake right now, and so
God,
he's-
it's some crazy people.
So yes. So you guys head back to the Emerald Shield to turn in for the night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you each have your room. Either Felwyn and Caesara, are you guys sharing a room?
Separate.
While everyone else is discussing things, I go ahead and go talk to the innkeeper, get my room, and go straight to sleep.
Okay. So
And I want to wake up as soon as possible.
So Talion turns in for the night.
As soon as I can hit long rest time, I'm up.
Okay.
So I think long rest is 8 hours.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I also go to sleep.
Okay. Felwyn and Caesara.
Yeah, we both go to sleep.
Okay. So everybody turns in, and everybody benefits from a long rest.
Double check, make sure we prep my spells, make sure I'm pretty sure same spells.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So
I didn't
you
even
guys...
use any first level spell.
So you guys are pleasantly woken to the sound of roosters calling in the morning.
Would
The
I have
crack of
woken
dawn.
up before any of them?
Um,
It doesn't need to be much, just enough for me to get outside and go ahead and get a head start.
Yeah, okay. You could have asked Dane to send either have him or somebody come wake you up
Yeah,
early.
Yeah, I'll have that done because I would like to get up, like I said, pretty early.
Okay.
Get down there, grab some water, just something basic, and tell the innkeeper that I'm gonna go and head out and to send everyone southwest down that alley we found. Once I get up,
Okay. It
If
is.
you remember,
It's not an alley. It's actually leading.
it's just the pathway.
Yes.
Okay.
You will note though that the major road heads due west. However, the tracks head southwest, so they're running out into
The forest
basically
or off path.
they're grasslands. In your travels, you'll know that this area has a lot of hills. There's hills, south, southwest, northwest, northeast. Like you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of in this little valley. So
Also, on the way out, I'll ask the innkeeper if there are any libraries in town.
No.
Anywhere notable I could get books.
No, there's no libraries. However, about a week and a half ago, an alchemist came into town and opened up an apothecary. Perhaps, maybe they have some kind of tomes of some sort. He doesn't understand the intricacies of magic and stuff like that.
Sure.
But he says there is an apothecary owned by a half-elf named Eris.
How do you spell that? E-R-S?
E-R-I-S.
E-R-S, okay.
Yep.
I'll ask for some directions there.
Okay. He says just head back out of the inn, head a little west. It's past the general store. And you'll be able to tell because there is a freshly painted sign of a potion bottle surrounded by 2 herbs. It's pretty easy to spot.
All right, well, I'll head out that way, kind of keeping an eye on the track, see if I can, figure out the rough area you went, while also heading to the apothecary shop.
Okay, so you start making your way out. About how early into the morning did you have Dane wake
I
you
would
up?
say it's like 7 in the morning, like basically right after sunrise.
Okay.
Assuming sunrise is like 6:30.
Okay. Yeah. So you head out a little bit. Is anybody else gonna wake up?
Yeah, I'll wake up and head to the tavern and get a drink and some food whilst waiting for
So
I also head down.
Zazira and possibly meeting somebody else.
okay, so the 3 of you guys kind of meet back down, get some breakfast, and you're like, wow, Talion sleeps kind of pretty long, doesn't he? He hasn't awoken yet, because none of you know that he woke up early.
Failed pretty quickly.
Yes.
Well, who knows when he'll wake up? I suggest while he's sleeping, we go and talk to the mayor about this issue.
Okay. So you guys quickly down some breakfast, and you guys head out.
Shall we go to the mayor to talk about the problem?
Yeah, I'm keen to go, but I will go and wake up Zazira before.
Okay. So you head
Okay.
back. You head back out upstairs. Victor, I assume you're going to wait outside for them.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we'll go back to Talion. So it doesn't take you very long till you find this apothecary.
Sure.
The sign says Eris's Sorceress Apothecary around the sign with the potion bottle surrounded by some herbs. You can tell that it is a relatively new shop.
Is it open? Is it already open? Is there already somebody inside, or do I not know?
So you can see kind of a short woman sweeping inside the shop. She has long curly red hair.
I'll try the door.
Okay, so it is locked. However, the sound of you trying to open it catches this woman's attention, and so she sets her broom down and comes and unlocks the door and says, "Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realize it was time to open yet. I was doing a little bit of cleaning."
Yes, you wouldn't have to have any books of any property. Doesn't necessarily need to be magical. Magical is always of benefit.
Well, she says that she has a couple of kind of like brewing recipes, like recipe books on how to make potions and the like. But besides that, she doesn't really have much yet. She's still amassing a collection. The shop is relatively new. She's only been open for about like a week.
Would I have picked up the fact that Caesira is somebody who creates potions or?
Caesar, do you have anything on you, like an alchemist pouch, maybe a mortar?
I know
and
the
pestle?
alchemists have a pouch on them that they can open to pull out stuff.
Well, that depends whether Caesar has it either in a backpack
Worn.
or on her, like on
Yeah.
a belt or something like that. So, Caesar, do you have anything that might lend to the fact that you are an alchemist?
Wait, is he back here with us?
I am
no.
currently not.
From
I'm asking from the night before.
the night before, if he happened to catch.
Any details on that?
But I need to know if Caesira, if her character has anything like that.
Is their Discord not working again?
I think they might have been cut off again.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Hello?
Sorry, guys, we're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, all good. But the shopkeep said that she had some basic potion making. Anything like that? Anything else?
As far as what she sells, she does have a few cure potions and a few
Would I know, like, you could make me give you an Arcana check for this, but would I know what would cure the sewer plague?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh, Jesus. With a +6 is a 9.
So, no, you're not really familiar with the sewer plague.
Can I ask? Because I wouldn't know offhand.
Yeah, you could ask her. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll ask the shopkeep or I'll ask Eris if she knows anything that would cure sewer plague, or at least, lessen its effects.
Mm-hmm. So Eris goes, wow, I actually just brewed up a batch of lesser restoration potions the other day. That will cure sewer plague right up.
I'll ask the price.
So
it's going to be really expensive.
Because I'm still setting up shop and I'm still trying to get my business running, I am selling them for 2 gold a piece.
How many do you have?
5 of them.
I'll drop... I know there's 4 of us, so I'll drop 1 for each person, so 8 gold.
8 gold? Okay.
Is that off?
Yep. She goes to mention that she has some cure wounds potions, but then she kind of stops herself and goes, "Oh, never mind. I actually gave those away already. I'm sorry. It's just the lesser restoration potions. I have not been able to get the herbs to brew up some more potions."
You wouldn't have happened to have noticed any, let's say, crazier looking, maybe lanky, maybe skin and bones kind of guys with a pretty heavy, I assume, gray beard around town? Probably about my height. Or a little shorter than me.
Roll a perception check.
Perception.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
So all my roll luck was in my stats. Got it.
Well, I mean, we did say that your stats.
Yeah, I would roll ones the whole time.
Yep. She thinks about it for a second. But she goes, "No, I haven't had any people like that come through. And I've been very hard pressed to get my shop up off the ground, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to do much else. So no, I don't recall seeing a man like this."
All right, thank you. Thank you for the potions. assuming these are as good as they seem, we'll be back, or at least I will.
She's like, I'll welcome your patronage.
And on my way back, I'd like to stop by the general store because you said it was on the way.
Yes. We're gonna move back to Victor.
Sure. Also, just gotta say, prestidigitation, so good. I like to think I'm just kind of casually walking around, like hands in pockets, just flicking stuff around with magic. Just like flick on the music, flick off the music, make everyone's drink taste good.
So you're basically Oprahing it. You're like, you get a prestidigitation.
You
get a prestidigitation.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, is your character wearing anything that would denote that you're an alchemist?
I have an alchemist satchel on me, so if anybody had any like base knowledge of alchemy, they'd probably recognize it.
I got really high arcana, so.
If you want to roll to see if you recognize it, you can.
Works for me.
Or if it's just a plain old satchel.
12.
So you don't know exactly, but you have an approximate knowledge that she could be an alchemist. Maybe it's just a fancy looking pouch.
Sure.
You're not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to Victor, Cezira, and Felwyn. So you guys, Cezira is now awake. Have you guys kind of packed up and left? You said you wanted to head to the mayor, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So
Sleeping in, guys.
That's fine. Plenty of time in the day.
sorry guys, Discord's giving us a little trouble.
Yeah.
So 3 of you guys are gonna head to the mayor's house?
Correct. I'm assuming the rest of you are okay with that.
I got no say in the matter.
Let's head to the mayor's house.
Okay. Alright, so you guys walk down the road a little ways and you see the large house, and it has quite an expansive garden around it with lots of flowers and small trees. You could tell that it's very well taken care of. You guys can go ahead and roll perception check for me, please. Man, Victor, you're on a roll tonight.
You know, I'm so happy we're using Roll20 because you would not believe me if I was rolling this out of.
Okay. Let's see if Felwyn.
Oh, I DM'd you something on Discord.
Look at that.
Oh, Felwyn rolled wrong. He didn't say D20, he just put 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
I rolled
actually
20.
Gotcha.
Yo, Hawk and I DM'd you something on Discord. Don't answer it out loud, but just send me a message, yay or nay. If not, I can send a roll and then.
Okay. Hold on.
There you go, I rolled for him. He rolled a 12.
All right, 12.
Sorry, that's all. It seems I'm the only one that can roll 24.
Yeah. That's alright, Felwyn.
No problem.
It's unforgivable.
You can answer out loud, just don't give enough detail for it to be discern what my question was.
Roll a nature check.
Nature, huh?
Mm-hmm.
21.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, you can tell what the smell of it.
Can you message me what it is?
So I don't know what it is exactly.
I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, I mean,
assuming I can think.
You can private message him and see what he was doing. If you really want to know. Okay, so.
Wait, are you with us?
Oops. Sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm still. You guys, as far as I know, I'm sleeping.
Okay.
Well,
So Victor.
I'll tell you when you're near me and you'll smell my pipe again.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
then you have to stand there and boil.
Okay, so Victor, let's see, what else did you guys roll? 12 and a 10. Okay, so Victor, you can hear muttering, kind of half muttering, half humming, from one of the corners of the garden.
Hello there. Are you by any chance the mayor?
All right. So you can see a rather round man, kind of kneeling, pulling weeds out. And when you call him, he pokes his head up. And from Dane's description, this is obviously Mose, the town mayor. And he has a very cherubic look to his face. He's very big smiles. He seems like a very friendly fellow, even just at a glance. And he stands up quickly, dusts his hands off on. He's wearing a pair of overalls, and he kind of dusts them off. But even in overalls, you could tell he kind of holds himself a little higher than most people do. But he immediately begins walking towards you, and he extends a hand, and he goes, "Why, yes, I am Mose, the mayor of Kesto. And who might you be?"
Oh, we're just a couple of adventurers. We had a little run-in with apparently a figure of the village, an old crazy man that turned some red giant and then attempted to attack us.
When you mention this, you can see his smile kind of drop a little bit, and he kind of shakes his head a little bit, and he goes, "Again, I don't know where they're coming from, and I don't know why. It's been the third or fourth time, I can't remember, but I'm glad you took care of the problem." So.
Oh no, yeah, we killed the rats. That was no problem. Currently, we're looking to hunt the nut job. However, we were curious if there was any reward in this endeavor, as we are adventurers and we do require funds in order to continue our quests.
He goes, "I'd be willing to pass up 100 gold, to anybody that would root them out for me."
100 gold. Tell you what, we are 4 adventurers. I'll say you make it 120.
He seems a little perplexed. He goes, "How about 100 gold and 3 potions of cure wounds for your troubles?"
I look at the others. Any opinions?
I shake my head to the others, and when he mentions healing potions being, a reward, thank you graciously, or Mayor, for extending the gratitude, but healing potions are of no requirement to our specific party. We have all of the healing potions we could ever need.
Okay.
Don't rush that far ahead. I'd still be interested in those healing potions.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Me?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm proficient in it.
Okay. So you bring up, these people like to deal in poisons, and it's going to be some tricky business. And you see him kind of bob his head a little bit, and he goes, 120 sounds fine. I could do that.
I agree to that amount as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Very well then.
let's see.
We
Okay.
have a deal.
He
Do you
goes,
have any additional information that you could tell us about this person?
So Mose kind of scratches his head and goes, I don't really know a whole lot, honestly. I haven't crossed paths with them at all. I've been, here or there, but I haven't been near one of the attacks yet. So I don't know who they are, what their motives are. I don't really know. I don't know much about them. So Dane would probably know the most, and I'm assuming he's already told you everything since you helped him last night.
Yes, he told us as much as he knew.
Yeah, but so he's like, I wish I could be more help. And he reaches into his overall pockets and pulls out a small leather pouch and hands it to you. And he goes, since I'm not of help, I would like to give you 40 of the gold up front now for your troubles. And I wish I could be more help. But a pouch of 40 gold for you guys to split amongst yourselves, however you seem fit to.
Very well then. Thank you for your help. I take the pouch.
He kind of gives you a nice nod, and he turns back to his garden and begins working again.
Right then. So I see that you have some skill with alchemy, Caesira. Since we don't have any healing potions, could you perhaps whip some up for us? We have enough money, I believe, to purchase supplies for you.
I have a very magical satchel on me, as you can see. That means I don't need any extra items to make healing potions whenever I require. I can just pull one out of my bag, and I demonstrate by pulling a healing drawer out of my bag.
Yes, however, this one seems slightly different from the restoration healing potions that I'm used to. Do they last as long?
They don't. I can keep them out of my pouch for an hour, but I can just make a new one whenever you need.
Then assuming we can drink as many of them as we need and heal up.
Well, you see, this, I didn't tell you guys earlier, but this is actually my first adventure. So while I've passed my apprenticeship, I've never actually had to use these in combat. So I guess we shall find out.
Okay. Out of character, I'm going to say I wanted to make your character make us some more permanent healing potions, so that we weren't restrained by the 1 hour limit, or the fact that we can only drink it once and then we can't drink it again to recover hit points.
I understand.
All right then. That's what you believe is best. I'm going to take out 10 gold, give it to Caesira. Another 10 gold, give it to Felwyn. Keep the rest until I can see the other guy, until I see Telion to give him his share.
Thank you.
Okay.
Perhaps we should return to the tavern and wake Telion up so that we can go on our way and try and hunt this
Okay.
serial spellcaster.
So. Alright, so I want Felwyn, Caesira, and Victor to roll perception rolls as they are leaving the mayor's house.
Okay. Don't roll this well in my other campaigns, but I'll take it.
It will go away soon, and then the time of Talion's rolls will begin.
When it really matters.
Yeah. Whenever I need to make a stealth check with my +6 stealth. Okay, why is everyone rolling well but me?
Alright, so Felwyn, you're occupied counting your gold and looking them over. However, Caesira and Victor notice that Talion is entering the general goods store.
He must have woken up. Shall we join him?
I agree, we should join him.
I run over overly excitedly.
All right. So, so Talion, you hear the footfalls of Caesira running towards you. Okay. So you see them. You see the three of them walking towards you.
Sure. And as I see Victor pull out his pipe, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to light it for him. This fella can do everything.
Okay. All right. So
With that, while I see them running at me, I'm going to dart into the general store first.
okay.
When I get in there, I'm going to give a brief description of the guy. I assume at that point they're behind me, and ask if the person manning the store knows anything about this guy.
Hold on.
I describe lanky, old.
He's like, oh, that's the gentleman that's been terrorizing this town. Never seen him before in my life except for his random nightly attacks.
Does he seem to do an attack every night?
It's not every night. It's very random. The first time he attacked...
Do you know roughly what time he's doing these attacks? Because I assume there's some form of pattern here.
Well, the first one... the first one happened, and then roughly 3 days later, the second one happened, and then it was... I can't remember exactly, but it's been over a week. From what I can tell, it just feels random.
Okay. You wouldn't have to have any, like, a decent amount of rope, would you?
Let me see.
I have rope on
While
me.
he goes
What
to
do you need it
look...
for?
Well, I was gonna get extra rope so we can tie this dude up. Some that in case we need to climb. While Victor's talking to me and I'm explaining that to him, I'm gonna tell Caesira to go see the apothecary to see if she can get any. Or I wouldn't know that yet, but I asked, about the mayor instead of saying that.
Okay.
The mayor has already talked to him.
Towards the apothecary, but I also point out to you the rope tied onto the back of mine and Felwyn's bags.
Extra rope never hurts.
Yes, I don't think we need any extra rope. Even if we were to climb, we can just use one of them. And
What
that's
all
the mayor
potions
wanted.
do we need to get?
Potions. Well,
Because they're
yeah.
pricey.
Yes, indeed. Which reminds me, we talked to the mayor, and the reward will be 120 gold for the
Good,
either
sounds
killing
good.
or securing of this insane person.
Did he
And
say
he
dead or
gave us-
alive, or did he specify one or the other?
Didn't specify. He just wanted stopped.
Okay.
He gave us 40 gold in, as an advance.
Sure.
Here's your share. Like, take out and give him 10 gold.
Okay.
As he passes me the gold, while I'm reaching in my bag, I'm gonna pull out 3 of the lesser restoration potions and give 1 to each of them.
Okay.
So you each now have 1 lesser restoration.
It's not a healing potion, it's a
It's
restoration.
a restoration, which
Yes.
is curing a disease.
Useful.
And I mentioned that I talked to the apothecary and that if we wanted to, that she still had one more of these potions. They were pretty cheap, and that if we need any potion making supplies or anything like that, she has a couple books on them. Although we cannot buy them from her because she still needs.
Let's see.
Well, perhaps say zero if you ever need any supplies for your potion making. You can go to her.
Yes, so Caesira, you can kind of make out that this apothecary is roughly about the same level of experience as you are. So probably won't have anything of
But the
use
book.
for you right now.
Some books, though.
Yeah. So. Okay.
And I assume the general store dude's back. I'm gonna turn down the rope and ask if he has any books, any reading material, anything. Doesn't matter the language, just matters that it's reading material, books.
Let me see. Oop. All right. He says he's got. Let me see. He says he has roughly 3 books in entirety, ranging different levels of reading levels.
What are they on?
Let me see. So you could tell. So one of them is a children's book. One of them is kind of a novice's guide to survival out in the wilderness. It's basically how to make kindling,
Sure.
how to make like a makeshift shelter.
Basic survival stuff.
Yep. And the third one is just a regular cookbook.
How much is the cookbook?
2 silver.
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Just to have it. How many silver is in a gold?
10.
10? Okay. So that means I now have 21.8 gold. Anything? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to pick up here. Does he have any torches? Like just the basically like your typical like just wooden stick they can turn into a torch. Flammable material at the top.
Let me see.
I already have some, but I want to have extra.
Right. Let me see.
They're always useful as well.
Yep. Let me roll this again. Hold on. Slow internet here. Yep. Okay. Yes, so he does. He sells 4 of them.
Yeah, I'll pick up all 4.
Okay. That's not any help. Trying to find the. He sells them at standard price. I'm trying to find out how much that is.
Well, I can mark off the money in a second, because regardless of the price, I'm buying them unless it's absurd.
Yes.
I already mentioned the apothecary. We already talked about the mayor, and I earlier when I was looking at the tracks still seemed pretty noticeable, right?
Yeah.
I'll say if you guys want to go and head over there, I'll meet you there in just a second.
I say that I want to try and pick up some crossbow bolts if he has any in stock.
Okay. So 5e.
I know crossbow bolts are 1 gold per 20.
Yeah.
You can decide.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the quote-unquote standard running price.
Yeah, so 20 crossbow bolts for a gold. If I can ever find any of this. So yeah, he's got a quiver in for a gold piece.
Yeah, I'll buy that off of him then, please.
Okay.
Also, Victor, do you think we should invest in that other restoration potion? 2 gold for 1.
Well, we each have 1.
Yeah.
Do you have 1 as well?
Yeah. Do you think we need the extra one just in case, or?
Well, we also have our alchemist. I'm sure she can perhaps whip us something if we need it.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. So you guys buy what you need. Where'd that go? There it is. All right.
Did you get the price on the torches?
So they're whatever the standard price is, I'm trying to find
Excuse me.
5e.
I'm pretty happy with my equipment and don't buy anything.
Yeah, I'm just buying extra stuff because it's always nice.
So adventure.
I have a shop right here. I can look at it.
What's the shopkeeper's name? Sorry.
Let me grab that. It is Brexham,
Cool. Thank you.
and he is a half-elf male. He's got golden hair and brown eyes. He wears well-made clothing, and he's got a blue cloak.
A torch is 1 copper piece per one. So
4 copper.
yeah. So that's 2.7 or 21.76 gold. Yeah, I'm good then.
Okay.
You want me to link you my shop thing I have? I have it for my campaign. It's a 5-page shop of everything.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and link me that. It'll make it easier.
Yeah, it's got standard running prices for everything.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else you guys need?
I think that gets everything I wanted to get.
Yeah, I've got everything I want.
Okay.
Also, that shop doesn't necessarily have everything, but it's a good way to see what some running prices are to base your prices on.
Right. Okay.
I disagree with some of the potion pricing, but
Yeah.
that's to the guy who made the shop thing discretion.
Okay. All right. What do you guys want to do now?
I'll say that the tracks seemed to have been pretty noticeable when I was walking by them this morning, and that I think we should just go in and head down the tracks.
I agree.
Go back in.
This
Okay.
morning, were you not sleeping?
I mean, I got up earlier than you guys. I slipped out while you guys were still asleep. The early bird gets the worm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you guys going to start following the tracks, heading southwest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Press the digitation 3 times to have some background music.
So earlier you guys did, I believe, a nature check. And you guys do know that in the direction you guys are heading, there's not really much in the way of anything. It's a lot of grasslands
Sure.
that turn into hills. But there's no civilization or anything. So, yeah. You guys will basically be walking out into wilderness.
I'm trying to think of a way we can set up something to keep an eye on the tavern, see if that guy comes back and tries an attack again. Some way we would know.
We'll probably see him if we were to come back to the tavern, as we are going on his own path.
But he could also come from a different path.
I highly doubt that he's smart enough.
Fair enough.
Okay. Summer, spring. Okay. Let me go ahead and roll. Okay, so you guys head out. You guys begin walking southwest. The town quickly begins to shrink behind you. So, as far as weather, it's a little windy. You got like a wind speed of about 15 miles per hour.
So it's a little cold.
Yeah, it's a little.
Just a
It's just a tiny bit chilly. It's not really enough to need any type of warm clothing or anything like that. It is early spring still, so there's still a bit of winter's chill on the air.
I'm gonna drop the background music, and on the other three, I'm gonna warm up their clothes. Cast prestidigitation to warm their clothing.
Okay. All right. So, Now that you guys know what you're looking for as far as tracks, it is pretty easy to follow him. So as long as you guys keep traveling, you get about 8 hours of travel. So you guys are now there on the map if you look at the Roll20 map.
Sure.
So it is still it's about 3 p.m. So it's kind of getting into late afternoon, early evening almost. You guys feel rested enough that you guys could push on for another 8 hours or so, if you really wanted to.
Sure. I mean, I think we just are we still following this guy's tracks? Is his track still pretty prominent?
Yes. So now that you know what you're looking for,
It's easy enough.
yeah, you guys are definitely able to pick up on it. So
I think we just keep following.
yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's
I'll
evening
confer
now?
with the party in that. 3 p.m. is what he said. What
3
do
p.m.?
we know what time sunset is?
Sunset. Let me see if this says anything here. Sunset, so it's early spring. Probably about 7 p.m. So you guys have
Okay.
like 4
4
hours.
hours of daylight, and then we have a ton of torches and stuff,
Yeah.
and dancing lights.
And
Yeah.
we'll still take a rest if it's night. But until then, I suggest we keep going and keep following the tracks.
Okay, so you continue. All right. So I will put you here now. So you have been surprisingly undisturbed so far. And now it is getting very late. It is definitely nightfall, and your feet are starting to hurt a little bit from traveling so much. But you guys went at a good pace, so you're not exhausted or anything. And you guys can make camp for the night if you wish. Or push on and risk exhaustion.
I suggest we take a rest for tonight.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm currently looking at spells, see if there's anything I can do to make our camp safer.
Do you
Okay.
have alarm?
Do I have? No, I do not have alarm.
What's that D20 for? Oh, no,
That
that's
D20 was
something
there
else. Never
earlier
mind.
whenever he did perception.
I'll set up camp. I'm good
Yeah.
at it.
Okay. So yeah, it doesn't take you very long to get a fire going. I'm assuming you guys probably roll out some bed rolls or something.
Yeah, are there any caves nearby, or are there anything like that?
No, it is pretty flat
All right.
as far as the eye can see all around you.
Okay.
Are we between these or just like a flat land?
Yes.
Yes, what?
You said that
flatland?
yes, you guys are in flatland right now.
Sparing trees or a lot of trees?
Very sparing.
Okay, so just camp out in the middle of nowhere. Got it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not really much for you guys to like hide in or anything like that.
No, it's fine. That means if we can't hide in, others
There's
have
nothing
to hide
else
in.
can. Yeah.
Nothing else can. That's correct.
Should we take it in turns to keep watch?
I'll take first
I'll
watch.
take first. Okay. I'll take
I'm
second.
claiming first watch.
Okay. So
While those three lay down, I'm gonna climb up into I assume we're camping kind of close to a tree for
if you guys
shade.
if you guys want to.
I mean, I assume because shade and stuff and daylight.
Well, we're sleeping at night, so I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but come daytime. Well, the closest tree I'm gonna climb up it.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my spare set of traveler's clothes and use them as a blanket.
Okay. So you just kind of see Cesaro kind of curl up and kind of put like a dress and a pair of pants over herself.
I'm just going to be sat against a tree, sleeping away.
Okay.
I'll be in my bedroll.
I'm gonna cast prestidigitation to rewarm their clothes because it only lasts 1 hour.
Okay.
And in Caesar's case, her blanket.
Okay. So, I mean, are you guys just gonna kind of drift off to sleep?
I will, yes.
Did we say who
Yeah.
had second watch?
Yeah, me.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. So, Talion, give me a perception check.
A perception?
Yes.
That should have rolled. Yep.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. So you're sitting up in the tree. The wind kind of brushing through the leaves is kind of dampening out most of the noise. So through your watch, you do see kind of some dark shapes, kind of flying by, but none of them stop or anything like that.
Okay,
But you don't really see what they are exactly.
sure.
You just kind of notice it. It's dark. You're half elf, so you do get what is
Night
it?
vision.
Night vision.
It's
Dark
dark
vision.
vision.
Dark vision. Okay. So yeah, even with that, they're just kind of flittering by a little too fast for you to kind of catch what they are. But they're
Hey.
not.
They don't seem to stop for us.
No, they're just kind of flying around. You
Works for me.
you kind of assume that they're probably it's just wildlife, probably some birds, something else maybe flying around.
Hey, fair enough.
But besides that, nothing else happens during your watch. And now,
Towards the end of my watch, I'll cast Prestidigitation to make a gust of wind against Victor.
okay.
I'm assuming that's to wake me up.
Yeah,
I wake
Yeah.
up.
So okay. Yep.
and we'll trade places.
Okay. So Victor, are you gonna climb up into the tree, or are you just gonna kind of keep your post at the base?
Keep it at the base.
Okay.
Smoking again.
You're not gonna risk falling out and hurting yourself.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So, and Talion, you drift off to sleep.
Sure.
Okay. So, Victor, during your watch, I want you to give me a perception check.
What the fuck? Oh, I'm so happy.
This is gonna show you.
I'm so happy you can see these rolls because Jesus Christ, if I was rolling them alone, you would not believe me.
Now, who has the loaded dice, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. So, the same thing. You begin to notice the same dark shapes flying by, but you happen to catch, you see that they are bats. And they're just kind of flying around. They're actually heading south from the southwest. So basically, they're heading. They're flying from where you guys are heading.
Okay.
So, you can give me a survival or a nature check, whichever you feel more comfortable using. With just
There we go. That's more fitting.
all right. I mean, it's kind of common knowledge that you know that bats typically come from caves and the like. So, and they head out at night to kind of to eat. So,
To hunt, yeah.
what's that?
To hunt. I know.
Yes. So, you can generalize that there's probably a cave or something somewhere within a bat's distance of flight. But yeah. But besides that, nothing happens during your watch. So, I'm assuming you guys are taking, 2-hour rotations?
I mean, I assume just 4 hours because
Okay, so you guys are just splitting up between the two of you?
yeah, just split it up between us and all of us get the 4S.
Okay, yep. So, morning breaks and everybody gets the bonus of a long rest.
Wait,
you
that
guys...
It
I'm
doesn't
sorry?
really. I don't think that actually. You would have to have a third person for the 4-hour rest, so we all get 8 hours.
Yeah, it's 8 hours. But I
Okay.
would assume we extended the rest a little bit since we both need to get 4S as well.
I mean, you guys could probably get away with a short rest. I don't think you guys have expended any spells or anything.
I haven't burned anything.
Nobody's hurt at all, so...
Yeah.
You guys don't need. You don't. You
I
guys
will
don't
also
need.
add the effect that the fact that I'm keeping people warm and keeping people comfortable probably helps a little bit. So
Okay. Yeah. So you guys don't need anything more than a short rest to be up
Yeah.
and ready. And honestly, you guys kind of want to find where this guy is before perhaps a rain comes through, something like that. All right. So I'm gonna roll 4. Okay, so just like yesterday, it is windy. It's a little bit stronger than it was yesterday. However, you do notice that the temperature dropped a little bit more today, almost by 9 degrees. So it's a fair bit more chilly than it was. It's about 12 degrees Celsius, 54 Fahrenheit. Guess you guys use a different.
yeah. What'd you say it was in Fahrenheit?
54.
Okay.
So it's not. It's
Once
not
again,
ba-
keeping their clothes warmed.
Okay. So you guys pack up, kind of stamp out your campfire, roll up your bedrolls, fold your clothes.
Assume every hour, because it only lasts 1 hour. I'm rewarming their clothing.
Okay. So as you guys are traveling, you can kind of notice, like they'll start to shiver a little bit, that your spell's kind of worn off, and you'll just recast it.
Yeah.
But then you kind of notice them, like they kind of go deeper into their clothes because it's nice and warm.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys press onward. So you guys travel about another 8 hours. What is everybody's passive perception?
12.
13.
15.
Well,
Okay, so it is high enough. So as you guys are traveling, and it's because it is flat land, it's pretty easy to see everything. One, straight ahead of you, you guys can see the land become more hilly, and then behind the hills, you can see a couple of you see about 3 mountain tops, kind of poking slightly above the hills. However, kind of off, I would say about 45 degrees off, you guys see a something running right at you.
Can I tell what it is?
Yeah, so you know, it's clear enough. You guys aren't hampered by any weather. You guys notice that it is a lion, and it is bolting right for you.
I'm going to cast Dancing Lights in the shape of a person, because that is something it can do. It can take the shape of a person, or a vaguely humanoid form, of roughly our height, so medium height.
Okay.
can I take my thunder cannon out and shoot it? From
I'm going to put that in front of us, just hoping it attacks it instead of us first.
So it is far enough that you would be able to take a shot at it.
Do you want me to also put a deception, just to see if that if it takes Dancing Light for an actual person?
Sure, it would be against.
It would be deception versus perception.
Perception or insight, I guess.
Or insight.
Yes, I mean it's a lion, so I don't know if it really has.
Yeah. It would be an 11.
All right, so let's see. Let's see if he beats it. Okay, so you can see that he is locked onto you guys. That the dancing lights does not seem to draw his attention at all. However, he is about 100 feet away, and he is covering ground fast. So.
Well, the gnome will fire at him, and I'll
Yep.
just pull out my weapons in preparation.
So Felon, you'll take a
I'm
shot
gonna
at him.
step forward and draw my cutlass.
Okay. So Felon, go ahead and do an attack roll.
D20 plus whatever your dexterity modifier is, plus your proficiency.
What time
Okay.
is it in the day?
It's I'll say it's like 2-3 p.m.
I
somewhere
cast
about
Mage
there.
Armor.
Okay. So all right. So a 21 is a hit. 2d6 plus 3. So that's 8.
So I have my effects of mage armor down. So now I'm at AC 17.
Alright, so...
I'm going to take another step forward at the line, assuming it's still coming at us.
Yes, by now it is now 40 feet from you guys, and
I would like.
I would have
Like-
drawn
like-
my long crossbow as well.
Okay, well, I was going to say I would like to cut my hand with my rapier to crimson right it and make it spark a bit again.
Okay. I would now like everybody to roll initiative. Wherever this...
It makes sense that I'm in the front of the party.
Let's see, by D20.
You're still rolling a really, really well. What's your dex mod, Vic?
It says right there 4. It's the
Oh,
same
4,
as
so
yours.
we're the same. So we're going to have to do a roll off for initiative.
Wait,
Why?
do you have 18 or 19 dexterity?
18.
I did really well.
Okay.
Do you also have
Rock, paper,
18?
scissors. Yeah.
Okay.
Just roll a normal d20. Just roll a flat d20, no bonuses.
So,
All right, cool. He gets to go before me.
okay, so
It's Victor then me, assuming that we're first two.
Victor,
Like-
21A, Italian 21, or yep, 21B. Cesira, you got a 5
And Felwyn got a 7.
and a 7. Okay. So, first up is Victor. So, what's your guys' position exactly?
I'm standing about 3 steps out in front of the party, trying to make myself the target.
Okay, so you're in front. Okay. Victor, I'm assuming you're
Cool.
right behind.
Yep, and I'm ready as well.
Okay. So you know that he is now about 30 feet away.
Okay. Can I reach him if I run towards him?
Yes, you can, as long as your base speed is 30, you can make it up to him with a move action.
Then I'm gonna move towards him and attack him with my Crimson Spear.
Okay.
16 to hit,
Yep, that's a hit. So go ahead and
and
roll
takes
for
9
damage.
damage. It automatically rolls for me.
Gotcha.
7
Okay.
piercing and 2 lightning. You can see it right there.
Okay, I see. I got you. HP. All right, so you said you did 9. And so that's already 17. All right. Okay.
So
that
Victor's
is-
now in melee range with the thing?
Victor
Yes.
is, yes.
Okay.
So you are now about, so Talion, it's your turn. You're about 25 feet away.
20 feet out, you said?
25.
Okay, well, for my first thing, I already have my cutlass out, so I'm going to swing my cutlass. But I'm going to, instead of hitting anything, I'm going to send a firebolt from it. Cast
Okay.
firebolt the cantrip. So it hits, or it's an 11 to hit.
Okay. So you notice that the lion kind of jumps back a little bit and dodges it. It kind of bursts. He barely dodges it. But
Sure. And then I'm gonna run past Victor and pull Victor back. Basically show him that I'm standing in front of him. That I wanted this thing to strike at me.
I know you want to make him so he can cast shield, but just stay behind me. We will attack you either way.
Fair enough.
Okay. So next is Felwyn.
I shoot it with my thunder cannon again.
Okay.
It's just so you know, it's +5. You add your proficiency bonus to your firing attacks. There you go, 23.
Okay, that is a hit.
It'd be rolled 2d6 plus 3 then, wasn't it?
Yes, 2d6 +3.
11 points of damage.
Yep. Can I move back in my turn as well?
I'm sorry?
Can I move backwards in my turn away from it?
Yeah, if you want to take a couple steps back, so yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right. And it would be Cesira up next. How far back do you move, by the way?
As far as I can.
So 30 feet. All right.
Yeah.
So you have about 60 feet of, well, about 65 feet of distance between you two.
Yeah, he can only move 25 feet.
Yes.
How far away now is the Alliance, Rory?
So you were slightly behind them. So it's about 35 feet from you.
Damn it, slightly out of range. Okay, I'll pull out my long crossbow.
Okay.
And take a shot of it.
All right.
Long crossbow.
It's the best I've got from this distance. I know will it be at disadvantage because obviously it's technically too close.
No. You only get disadvantage if it's right in front of you.
Yeah, only if it's within 5 feet. So you have 35, so you're fine. You get standard attacks, and you roll an 11, which... No, wait, that was damage.
That was
Okay,
damage.
Sorry. I keep getting a little thing that pops up a little bit, and it looks like a result.
Yeah, so it looks like somebody else's dice when they're typing.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll for your attack. 18. That is a hit.
Again, I think it's your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency, so it's a +5 actually.
Okay.
I'm proficient in it.
Yes, and your dexterity.
Yeah, I added my dexterity. My dexterity's +3, but I'm not proficient in it.
Oh, you're not proficient in it. Okay, didn't know that.
All right, so the 18 is a hit, so go ahead and roll for damage.
Sorry, everything.
That's okay. We'll get your character sheet uploaded to Roll20, so it'll be a lot easier for you guys.
Good luck hitting me, Mr. Lion.
Let's see.
That was supposed to say +3. And yeah, sorry, we're just having issues with Roll20 because the artificial class isn't on it, so we technically can't put our character sheets.
Yeah, that is weird.
If you give me access afterwards, I can make their sheets for them.
It was
Okay.
meant to be +3, so it will be.
That is 11 damage.
Yeah.
So 11 damage, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. All right, so now it is the lion's turn.
Jeez, this thing's taking like 30 or 40 damage.
Yeah, he's a little tanky. All right, so the lion is about equal distance between Victor and Talion. So let's see who he decides to go for. So, okay. All right, so Talion, he's going to swing at you.
Go for it.
Okay. So he's going to try to bite at you. Okay. So that is a 10.
Misses.
That is a miss. Okay. So then
AC of 17.
Okay, so then he is going to try and swipe now. That is a 19.
For who?
As my reaction, I'll cast Shield.
Okay. And that nullifies
So-
all damage for one round.
It adds +5 to my AC.
Okay.
So I have
cool.
22 AC.
So you see that you can't dodge this this attack, so you quickly
Holster.
whip up a magical barrier, and you kind of see this lion's claws just rake against it, kind of sending sparks off of your barrier. And that is all he can do, and it goes back to Victor.
Already? I'm gonna
Yes.
attack the thing again.
Okay,
19 to hit,
that's a hit.
13 damage.
damage. All right. So you said you're using your rapier, so it's a piercing weapon. All right. So using his the lion attacking Talion, you can see that he's slightly distracted, and you use that, and you drive your rapier through the lion's eyeball, and you just see its body kind of just begin to vibrate from the electricity from your rapier, and using your foot pressed against its face, you draw the rapier out, and it falls at your feet. And it is dead.
Feels bad, man. I used all my both spell slots.
All right.
Still have an AC of 17 though.
Okay.
I have an AC of 17 till we go to sleep, by the way, because it lasts 8 hours.
Okay.
I would like to pull out a knife and try to skin the lion.
All right. Do you have a dagger or any kind of skinning
Ooh,
tools?
I don't have a dagger. Does anyone have a dagger?
I mean, you could try to use my cutlass.
I can also use, actually, yeah, the cutlass. I'm assuming it's a slashing weapon.
Yeah, it's a slashing.
Then it will probably be more useful than the rapier.
I'll toss it over while I'm also looking up the lion. Man,
May I
lion
try
is
to
not
skin
in the
it?
monster
Oh,
manual.
here we go. Okay.
Oh, here it is.
I-
200 is what it says.
Yep, 200 EXP. So you,
Split among 4, that's 50 each.
yep. So you guys get an additional 50 experience points.
75 EXP per person.
All right. So lion, rats. All right. Cool. So you guys are a little bit beefier than Okay, that's cool. That is cool with me. So you said you're going to try to
would like to-
skin the lion. What are you using?
My
The
cutlass.
cutlass.
Cutlass. Okay. Go ahead and do a survival
Survival?
check.
I want to make a coat out of him. 21.
21.
Okay. Yeah. So you probably have done this before. You know exactly where to cut on this thing. And roll me a d10. Just a d10.
9.
All right, 9. Okay, so it takes you about 9 minutes to completely get this pelt off. So it is still kind of dripping with blood. It hasn't been...
Prestidigitation, clean it.
Okay, so it hasn't been tanned or anything, and it hasn't had time to kind of cure yet. So it's still kind of moist a little bit. It's sinewy to your fingers. So it might not be the most comfortable thing to wear right now, but
When he throws me my cutlass back, can I try to harvest some lion meat out of this thing?
Oh, I was going to say the same thing.
yeah, you guys can go ahead and try to carve out some meat if you
Let
would
me
like.
have the lion meat. I have plans.
Would you like to do it yourself, or would you like my help?
Both of us doing it.
So
'Cause
you
we both have
guys-
decent enough weapons for it. We would have a rapier and a cutlass.
So
Yes.
Flash this thing up.
whoever wants to do it, because you guys are aiding each other, who
You go ahead.
Exactly.
roll
Yeah,
with
essentially your
advantage.
advantage. That's how it
Yeah, I'm
works,
giving
I
him
guess.
advantage by helping him with the cutlass while he's rapiering it.
That is correct. Go ahead and do that. All right.
So 24.
All right. So yeah, you get. So lion is pretty good size. With which you carve out. I'm gonna say you guys get
We'll
about
split it half and half.
yeah. You guys will get about 8 rations worth of meat off of it.
I'll take 4. You take 4.
Let's split it with the rest of the party. I'll give 2 to Felwyn, you give
Fair
2
enough.
to Seizura.
Yep.
Okay.
I was gonna hold on to it because I also have a cooking book that I can maybe cook something with it.
Thank you.
Here we go. Lion meat.
All right.
So now we have a
So it is
a
uncooked
shredded
right
lion
now.
body basically. Yeah, we have a
Mhm.
shredded lion body, right?
Yes.
I'm going to, I guess, drag it off the path.
Ooh,
Basically, I'm
no,
gonna hide the body.
Okay. Let me see. Let me roll.
Actually, before you do that, Seizura. Seizura,
Yeah.
would you need the lion bones perhaps for any type of chemical component?
Not as far as I'm aware, but I can take a few with me if you think it's going to be beneficial in the future.
Well, I'm asking you if you think it will be. useful. Maybe
I'll
just
take
as
a
a
few
little
of
set.
the elements with me.
Okay,
Okay.
so harvest a few small lion bones, and then I'm gonna drag it off the path.
Okay. Yeah, you find some brush. That might be big enough to kind of to hide it.
It doesn't necessarily need to be completely out of the way. I just don't want it to be like super obvious that
Yeah.
there was a dead lion here.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna walk back along the drag path and like hide the drag marks and clean up any blood using prestidigitation.
Okay. So you make it so that anybody
There
kind of-
should be minimal trace of this thing being here.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
All right. So the lion is slain.
While I'm doing everything, I'm just gonna explain to the party. That old dude could come running back here through here and us not see him, so best not to leave any traces.
He didn't exactly seem very subtle in his ways.
But we could also at some point pass him up.
Fair enough.
No reason to leave any traces of us, especially if anyone's following us.
Okay. So you guys kind of clean your weapons, skin the lion. take some meat.
Basically, they present them, and I cast prestidigitation 100 times.
Okay. Anything else? Or are you guys gonna press on?
I mean, that does everything for me.
For me as well?
Me as well.
Okay. You guys begin heading southwest, following the tracks again. So you finally reach the hills, but it is now nighttime. And again, because you only took a short rest, you guys are kind of feeling a little bit tired again.
Yeah.
So, but from where you're at, you can see the mountains ahead of you.
Do we notice anything like in the direction we're heading? Any like, I don't know, ominous caves that look like people are hiding there?
From this far away, you can't see anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah, unless you guys had some kind of telescope or something like that, you guys probably wouldn't be able to see anything.
Okay then, so...
I'll take
Since
some resting here.
Yeah.
I
I
mean-
guess set up camp.
I'll take the first watch.
Okay.
Works for me. I'll take second, and we need 3 watches at least.
I'll take the top.
I didn't do a watch last night, so it should be my turn.
I mean, it's fine.
Whatever
either
works.
way.
Yeah, as long as 3 watches get done. And as I say that, I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
Pull out a bedroll, plop down, go to sleep.
I think we can also do 4 watches and each of us stay up 2 hours.
Yeah, that works too. We'll each do a watch for 2 hours.
Okay.
As I say, as I'm crawling into my bedroll.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Let me.
So it's first watch, Felwyn, second watch, me, third watch, one of you two, fourth watch, the other
Victor.
one. Yep, fourth watch,
Fourth watch.
Caesarea.
Okay. Let's see. So 8. 7th hour. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna do that.
So we each get a 2-hour watch. And
Right.
I did that at...
So what's
What
the
time did you say it was whenever we were starting to lay down? Like 8, 7, 8?
I'm gonna say it's about 10 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. So what was the order?
It was Felwyn, then me.
So Felwyn, you said Talion?
Yep. Felwyn, Talion, Victor, Caesarea.
Okay. All right. So how do you guys set up camp for tonight?
I mean, I assume we made a little campfire, just did bed rolls.
Are we on
Kind
top
of
of a
we did
hill?
last.
I'm sorry?
Are we on top of a hill?
So you guys have found a nice little you're kind of between 3 hills. It kind of creates this little bowl. And and you're you've settled into the middle of it, and it kind of creates a nice little barrier. So you guys don't really feel any wind, and you guys are pretty well hidden from anything that might be walking around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Felwyn is taking first watch. So your 2 hours go by uneventfully. You don't hear anything, and the 2 hours kind of flies by before you know it.
Okay. I go to wake up Talion.
Okay.
Hop up.
Yep.
Find a decent enough spot to keep an eye out and everything. Preferably a little higher up.
Okay. You can kind of climb up one of the hills.
Yeah. I don't necessarily want to leave too far away, just enough where I can get some height.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. So, just like Felwyn's, your watch goes by uneventfully,
Sure.
and your watch is now up.
On my way to sleep, I'm gonna wake whoever's next up, which is Victor, warm his clothing, and warm the other two bedrolls.
Okay.
Or warm the other two bedrolls, so that it's a little warmer since I'm expecting it's a little cold right now.
Let me see. I actually have that.
It was like 54, and then at nighttime turned down a little bit.
Yeah, so it's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree Celsius.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep everyone warm then. I'll do the 1 hour, so they'll be warm for an hour.
Okay. So, Victor, you are awoken.
And I'm smoking.
So you kind of take up your spot, kind of pull out your pipe, light it, and just kind of smoke it. Let me see. All right. So, just like their watch, it goes by uneventfully. So,
That just means Azir is about to get attacked by an army of hobgoblins.
Yeah.
So,
I
Sounds
put up my
like-
pipe.
so it seems like a
Put up
nice,
my pipe.
quiet night so far. And your watch is now up.
I put out my pipe, and I wake up Cesira for her leg of the.
Okay. So Caesara
Now I
is
go back
now,
to
she wakes up and she sits.
That's bed.
Yep. Let me see. Okay. Caesara, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Oh great! Here comes the old guy running through.
Here comes the natural one.
Oh boy. You guys have been rolling so well tonight, like.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
good.
Okay. So you're kind of just sitting there on your watch, and you begin to hear kind of a buzzing sound. It doesn't sound close, but it does sound very loud. Give me a nature check.
Yay, swarm of bees!
All right.
There's the bad roll.
So a 9.
You're not
So-
proficient in it, are you?
I'm not proficient in this, no, but it should have been a +3 on the perception because I am proficient in that, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't know exactly what it is, but you can make out that it is a large insect of some kind, and you can make out that there's a couple. There might be 2, maybe 3 of them.
Got it. I know what these are. Outside of game, I know what these are.
You kind of hear them buzzing around a little bit. You don't hear them getting closer, though. And so you're kind of sitting there. Do you want to do anything?
I just want to stay on high alert for now, and maybe get my light crossbow out, but I'm not going to wake the others up.
Okay. So you prepare your crossbow. All right. So you're sitting there. You're kind of. Are you kind of like a little bit anxious or something about what is this? It sounds like it gets closer, but then it kind of goes away again. And you're sitting there for about 9 minutes or so, but then you begin to hear the sounds of these wings heading out. And as you listen, you kind of just lose. You can't hear them anymore. So whatever it was kind of buzzed around your area, but didn't come over the hill at all, and flew out into the night. So, but besides that, your night goes by uneventful. And morning, the sun begins to peek over the hills. Let's see what you guys get for weather today. All right.
And both spell slots are back. Keep the same spells prepared.
Okay, so wow. So you all wake up.
Got about lucky.
You guys are all awake now. You guys can tell that even though it's spring, it's getting colder. Now it is. It was, what was it, 35 degrees Fahrenheit last night?
It was 35 during the night
and 1 degrees Celsius. So the sun is up, and it's in the early morning now. It's only going up by 1 degree. It is really cold. It's 36 degrees now, 2 degrees Celsius. And the wind is just picking up even more now. So I want you all to make, that would be a Constitution save throw.
Before that, I'm going to just assume for the next however long we're traveling, every hour that I can tell, keeping their 3 clothes warm. So give them advantage on
don't spam it on me. Spam it on yourself. Trust me, I don't need help on the Constitution save.
Okay, I'll keep it on us 3 then.
Okay.
Do you still want us to do a Constitution save?
No. So you're being warmed by the prestidigitation, so you're not having any ill effects or anything like that. However, I will have Victor roll a Constitution save.
Just saying, this is the most useful spell in the entire game, arguably.
Ooh.
I think it's pretty well established on
I rolled
that.
low for once. I rolled low.
So you are shivering very violently right now. So I don't know if 5th edition still has non-lethal.
You could give me exhaustion. One level of exhaustion for now. Exhaustion, I'm assuming you know what it does. Exhaustion. I have disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay, yeah. So until you get warm, you're gonna take disadvantage. So,
on ability checks or everything?
just on the ability checks, that's fine.
I'm gonna say, assume that I'm keeping the gnome and the other half elf warm, and then I'll alternate between myself and Victor.
Okay.
On the hour, because it lasts 1 hour, and I can have 3 up at a time, I believe. Let me double check that. It says you can have 3 up non-instantaneous effects. So, yeah, I can have it up 3 of them at a time, and I can dismiss them anytime. So assume I'm just basically alternating between Victor and I, and those other 2 are constantly warm.
Okay, so about like every 30 minutes, you're gonna alternate who's warm. Okay.
Yeah, because I can drop it at will and swap it.
Okay, that will keep you guys from having to deal with this temperature. So.
Okay.
All right. So.
Will my lion mane help at all?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that is true.
If you throw it over yourself.
Are you wearing it like a straight up coat, like a pelt, using its head as like a helmet?
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
But then instead of warming his clothes, I'm warming that because it's covering more of his body.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can only warm a single piece of clothing or a single non-living material.
Right. Okay. So, with how cold it is, you don't care that this lion pelt hasn't been cured or leathered yet. You're just like, you know what? Screw it, and you just kind of toss it over yourself, and surprisingly, it does stave off the cold enough for you to not have to make that constant rolls. Okay, so you guys continue traveling.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I assume still following tracks, heavy, the heavy footfall or whatever of this old.
yes, so you guys have been lucky that besides getting really cold and just getting windier,
There has been
and
no
windier,
rain, luckily.
yes, there has been no rain yet, so the tracks have not been covered. But all right, so you guys continue along the path or the tracks, and you guys are going to travel another 8 hours. And the foot of the mountain comes into view now. The hills turn into mountains now. I want everybody to make perception checks.
Please, for once in my life, can I roll well? Hey.
We rolled the same, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
proficient.
you have a better bonus in it. Up.
Oh shit!
Okay.
We know exactly where the cave is, and we know how many people are inside, what they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Felwyn.
All right. So,
He's too short every.
yeah, you need about 2, maybe 3 more feet. The hills are still confounding you a little bit. All right, so you guys, except Felwyn, but I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna kind of tap him on the shoulder and point it out.
I'll put him on my shoulder.
I mean, as long as he's willing, you won't have to make a grapple check to do that.
I am very willing.
You're willing to get picked up. Felwyn, do you have your weight by chance? Or the average gnome weight?
I assume he's a 3-foot gnome. It's probably
I'm
not
3
much.
foot. Well, I've got a thunder cannon as well.
How much does a thunder cannon weigh?
I don't know. Is there a way to check?
I'm not really too worried about
I
your
have a
equipment.
decent enough strength. I have a +1 to strength.
So, I mean...
That's like 150 something pounds, I think.
Yeah.
Average gnome weighs about 40 pounds.
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check, a strength athletics check.
That's fun.
But
That's real fun.
That's something with the natural 20.
So, you kind of like motion to him to jump up on your shoulder, and he climbs up, but upon trying to stand up, you kind of fall. I want you guys to make dexterity saves.
The game hates me.
That's because you roll so well on stats.
I know, but I'm still alright with this. This is, of all times to be having a bad time, this is a perfectly fine time to be having a bad time. It's just annoying.
All right,
Of
so
course he rolls well.
so Felwyn, you see that he's going down, and you kind of leap off of him and kind of do
He
a
uses
roll.
me as a springboard and throws me into the ground hard.
And him leaping off kind of throws you a little bit, Talion. And you kind of fall flat on the ground and take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Sure.
The ground's becoming rocky now, so you kind of hit a very rough spot. So, back to what you guys saw earlier. You guys can see off in the distance, it's still... it's not hidden at all, but you guys can see about maybe another hour and a half travel. You guys can see the opening of a cave.
What time in the day is it?
It is still about mid-afternoon.
Okay. Would you say, like, I don't know, 2, 3?
It's actually more like about 1. It's shortly. It's
Okay.
shortly after noon.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's
So, yeah. Never mind. Never mind what I was gonna say. Continue.
However, looking at the time, I think this is a good place to stop for tonight. So
Fair enough. Before it's over, prestidigitation. I'm gonna soil all of Felwyn's clothes.
so Felwyn, your clothes just suddenly become just super dusty.
Super dusty, super dirty. I'm also gonna I'm also gonna create an odd odor around him.
I'll just look at you with an evil grin.
So, all right, guys, we'll put a bookmark here.
Prestidigitation is too good.
All right, so, Caesarea, I would like you to get a point of inspiration for turning down the potions and rather relying on your own strength and not burdening Mose with having to give up a potion he may or may not need. So I will give you a point of inspiration for that one. Yeah. Okay. But anyways, thank you guys, and I guess I'll see you next week.
Thank
Yep.
you.
See you next week.
Peace.
See you guys.